You don't need to fix yourself, sweetheart. You need to stop speaking to yourself like you're broken. Now come sit with me a moment, because this one, it runs deeper than most people realize. Somewhere along the way, you started believing you were the problem, not your circumstances, not your timing, not your path, you. And once that belief settles in, everything begins to feel like something you need to correct. You start looking at your life like a list of flaws. I need to fix this. I need to improve that. I need to become better. And that sounds productive, doesn't it? Sounds like growth. But darling, there's a difference between growing and constantly treating yourself like something is wrong. Because when every thought is about fixing yourself, you begin to feel like you're never enough as you are. Now let me ask you something gently. How do you speak to yourself when things don't go right? Do you say, "That's okay, I'll learn from this"? Or do you say, "I always mess things up. I should be better by now. What's wrong with me?" Because those words matter more than you think. You can do all the right things, but if your inner voice is tearing you down the whole time, you'll still feel stuck. Now listen closely. You don't grow by criticizing yourself into change. You grow by supporting yourself through it. Out here on the farm, you don't plant a seed and then yell at it for not growing fast enough. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's working. You don't call it broken because it hasn't bloomed yet. You give it time. You give it care. You give it the right conditions, and you trust the process. Now, why is it you can give that patience to everything else, but not to yourself? My dear, you are no different. You are still growing, still unfolding, still becoming. And growth doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like confusion. Sometimes it looks like rest. Sometimes it looks like starting over. But none of that means you are broken. It means you are human. Now here's where things begin to change. Not when your life becomes perfect, but when your relationship with yourself softens. When instead of saying, "I need to fix myself," you begin to say, "I'm learning, I'm improving, I'm doing my best." Do you feel that shift, sweetheart? That's not settling. That's healing. Because when you stop fighting yourself, you free up energy to actually grow. Now I want you to think about this. How much of your exhaustion comes from your life, and how much comes from how hard you are on yourself about it? Most people don't realize it's not just what they're going through, it's how they're speaking to themselves while they're going through it. Now imagine this. You go through the same challenges, but your inner voice says, "You're okay. You'll figure it out. You've handled things before." Would it feel lighter? Of course it would, because support changes everything. And here's the truth most people miss. You don't need more pressure to grow. You need more patience. Now, I'm not saying you stop improving. I'm saying you stop punishing yourself while you improve. There's a difference. One builds you, the other breaks you down. Now let me ask you something real simple. What would change if you spoke to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love? Would you be kinder, more understanding, more patient? Then why not give that to yourself? Because you deserve that same care. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are not broken. You are in progress. And progress takes time. So today, sweetheart, don't try to fix everything. Don't try to become perfect. Just change one thing, the way you speak to yourself, because when that changes, everything else begins to follow.